on YouTube? It's James with Schreimer Fantasy Battle Report. Got another battle report for you today. It's Forest City Fracas, round number 1. Guys, what is going on? I know it's been a while. It's been a while since I recorded a video. Those of you who caught my last video, my father passed away. And it's actually, without getting too sentimental here or anything, but during this tournament, I got the phone call that he wasn't doing so good. So this tournament kind of has been sitting on my old phone actually, because I got a new phone since then, and I just kind of like copied the files over. But whatever. Um, but it's been sitting here, and I just knew I was gonna put up the video soon eventually. But I'm going to Masters this week, and I got my new movement trays from movementtrade.com, and I'm just slowly getting back into the game. To be upfront and honest with you guys, I really wasn't planning on going to this tournament. Excuse me. I wasn't planning on going to Masters. There's talks of new ONG book coming out, which I know that that's happening, and I was planning on, how do I explain this? Masters, the invites, you have to win a tournament or you have to place high in a tournament in North America. Well, this tournament, I did Buckeye battles, and then I was planning on doing this tournament here in Canada and hopefully placing pretty damn high in Canada. Hoping. That was John 653's explanation to me. He said, James, come to Canada. They're not that great in Canada. You probably spank them. That's what he tells me. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. Let's go to Canada. Let's do our best. All right, and if I could get up, in a high place, high ranking, I could earn my shot into going into Masters. All right, so I go there with a list that basically created that was a very aggressive list. Okay, and I'll kind of go over that list with you really quick. Let me pull up a picture for you, but I also need to pull up my list for you to tell you what I have. All right. So basically, first of all, we got King Koopa. King Koopa, obviously, we know what he has. We've got the shield breaker. We have the paired weapons with the poison attacks. Yada yada yada. Right. We have my. We took the BGKs. We took Baxter's the Pyromaniac. We took Bazooka and the long shot. But I also was talked to by Herman Ardon about bringing the Rod of Battle. So he kind of convinced me into bringing the Rod of Battle instead of the Dragon Staff. Doing so, I ended up having to take off a shield off my general, which is hilarious to me. Hilarious. Because my general's kind of weak. My general, again, I was talked into taking Shady Shanking instead of my normal Touch of Greatness. And doing so, my general is now on a Wyvern mount. He has a 4-up armor, 5-up ward. And I was looking around, and there's certain lists like Druidism, there's certain lists like Shamanism that I don't really worry too much about that because I'm not going to get nuked off the damn Wyvern. And I'm also going to stay far enough back. I can stay behind my monsters, yada, yada, yada. But I kind of wanted to play with that 18-inch bubble, using the 18-inch bubble on trolls, using the 18-inch bubble on keeping the goblins in line, yada, yada. So, that was kind of my point with this list, right? Gonna go ahead and bring out 25 Ed Bashers. Gonna go ahead and bring out 20 goblins, and the BGKs. I got 6 River Trolls just because I made the models and I thought they would be really fun to play. Gonna bring 3 Goblin Wolf Chariots, the K-Pack. I got my 5 Raiders just for chaff. I got my Great Green Idol, which I brought back out. Crom is gonna be fun to bring out, and then I got Ruckus. Now, the idol was something that I haven't played in a while, so when bringing back out the idol, it was kind of fun and reminded me, oh yeah, not everybody can handle T8. I don't care if you guys have a unit of strength 6, guys. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna walk up to you with my T8 fucking idol and just stare at you and thunderstomp you. Anyways, so we go out to the game chamber, and ironically enough, my girlfriend or my fiance, I should say, my fiance is wearing a shirt from the game chamber right now. Today, that's just total coincidence. But we went to the game chamber, and it's a very interesting store. It's out in the middle of Canada. What is this? Forest City, I think. And we drove out there. It was Jesse, myself, and my nephew Jose. We go ahead and we get out to the parking lot. And we see a bunch of actual regulars. We see Andrew Ratman. We see Charles Sadler. We see a bunch of guys who drove up from the Michigan area or the Midwest. The store itself was pretty fucking cool. They had these big displays. You could see where your rankings are. They put up the new recruit right there, so everybody kind of saw what they were, who they're playing up against, and how they're doing. And I thought that was awesome. Go ahead and they have these interesting heads of like owl bears and other D&D monsters. They actually have these D&D rooms. And again, I know about the OGL 1.1 crap. If you guys are D&D nerds, which I'm pretty sure most of you probably are, but they had these rooms that were just straight up like fantasy dungeon rooms to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I thought that was just so awesome. All right, here's go ahead and picture of my entire list. If you haven't seen it already, I might have already posted it. And my opponent was Justin Kane. Justin Kane, first of all, had the biggest model in the tournament and also one of the most beautiful models in the tournament with this giant zombie dragon. Now, this is the one list I was looking at all of the list. There wasn't that many people. I think about roughly 20ish. Um, maybe not. Let's see, maybe a little bit less. Florida City Fracas. Oh, there was 25 players. Out of the 25 players, there's certain lists that I was looking at that I was just like, I really do not want to mess with the with this evocation. Did he have evocation? Hold on one second. And again, I'm rusty. I haven't done a battle report in a while, so I'm kind of like looking at this, trying to recall what has happened over 6 months ago. Might I add, roughly about 6 months ago. Sorry about that. Um, he ended up having occultism. That was the one. He had occultism, and I really did want to fight this. Here's the list. He had the Vampire Count General Van Karstein on the Colossal Zombie Dragon with occultism, and basically I was just like, this is one nasty motherfucker. I don't have, and I mean, have a lot of small arms fire, but he's gonna be able to regen his wounds back through being a vampire. Also, the colossal zombie dragon just scares the shit out of me. I have PTSD from stupid fights with certain people who just love to bring damn zombie dragons. So I'm just like I literally see it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to fight that. I don't want to fight that. Now he also has another Van Karstein on a horse on a skeletal steed. That one is using the True Thirst. He has 40 skeletons with Legion Standard, 40 skeletons with Legion Standard, 28 skeletons, 8 wolves, 10 knights, 2 bats, a cadaver wagon, 3 reapers, and 5 more vampire knights. Now, this is the old vampire knights. They actually had different stats. I think they just got updated recently, as I heard through the grapevine. I'm coming back to this. I'm kind of being reintroduced to a lot of these things, and it's pretty new to me. Here's a picture of his dogs. Here's a picture of his. I want to say these are the Barrow Knights, and that's the vampire character on the side. And then these are his vampire knights. Here's his winged reapers, his corpse cart. Now I started doing these magic cards. I ended up going ahead and a couple of this is like that Infernal card, which is really enveloping embers. That was like my original artwork. But I started doing some. I was playing with the computer and I was like, let me try to do my own cards. And every time, I swear to God, every single fucking time I make my own cards, they change the magic. They don't change it for like a year or two. But the second I can make my own cards and get them printed up, they change the fucking magic, and they did. So these cards are again 6 months old. They're from a different era of the game. But go ahead and I take a Pyroclastic Flow, Flaming Swords, Enveloping Embers, and I ended up taking the Rod of Battle. And I want to say I took Bring the Pain, which is the one spell I forgot actually to make a card for. Koopa got Breath of Corruption, and we're gonna go ahead and deploy. I think this is. Let me see if I can pull up this on my matches to see what has happened here. We're playing Counter Thrust and King of the Hill. There, thank you very much. New recruit is actually very helpful in this scenario. All right, so since we're playing Counter Thrust, I go ahead and I drop the dogs up front first, by the hill, behind the hill, whatever, and to kind of give myself that big lead. I cannot sit back and pick at him. There's no point of sitting back and picking at him because he is vampires. So more or less, what I'm gonna do is try to push as fast as possible. Go ahead and I believe I got this side. So there's like a forest over here, but there's no terrain to hide behind besides that one hill. That one hill is going to play a huge part in this game because it's the one thing in the center of the table that's basically I think we both picked this for King of the Hill. I don't even remember what we picked for King of the Hill. It might have just been the hill. Um, Anyways, as you can see, I put Koopa up there, put the Ruckus up there, yada yada yada. There you go. Surprisingly, I didn't put my forest goblins, my BGKs near Koopa. I usually do. I usually do. I think I just wanted to really focus on those enveloping embers onto his skeletal blocks. I think I just did that to threaten him, and we'll see how that goes. Magic for him. He ended up having Hasten the Hour, Pentagram Pain, The Rot Within, Marked for Doom, Arise, and Dead Arise. Okay. We're gonna go to Vanguard. Vanguard. We got some dogs moving up. I go ahead and I move up my 5 Wolf Riders, and we're gonna go ahead and start off turn 1. Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins turn 1. Go ahead and he left those dogs just close enough for the K pack, and I'm like K pack, let's go charge. I didn't walk. I thought about walking. I know Phil Carr will be upset, but I think since we were already like 20 inches up, he vanguarded up 12 inches away or so like that. But for my K pack, it was maybe like an 18-inch charge, I want to say, roughly. And boom! Get in right there. Now, my goal here was just to get rid of the damn dogs. The dogs have the character in it, or the champion, I want to say. And if he challenges into my Koopa's just stuck in a forever challenge. You know what I mean? And I really don't know who I could really hit with the K pack this game, except for the zombie dragon, maybe the Reapers, that would do any real damage. I hit some skeletons with the K pack, and I'm just like doing, killing off 10 or 12, and then they basically get stuck there for the rest of the game. So I was like, fuck it. I don't care if I lose the K pack this early. I'm going to just knock out some dogs, and they most likely will. I basically put my trolls up like so. I put Ruckus up like so. My goal here, I believe, was to stay here. If he charges into the K pack, I could flee with the K pack, which you'll see. This is just my strategy, my thought process. And again, this is 6 months ago. I don't really remember everything to a T. I really don't. Okay, but my goal here is if he charges into the K pack, fails the charge to K pack flees, they run through Ruckus, they run all the way back towards my general. They'll be fine. I could regroup there, but it leaves the trolls and Ruckus looking at whatever charged them and counter charge. Okay, go ahead and I move up Koopa over to the right, and I move the dogs over here. And what I'm going to try to do is shoot the shit out of those dogs with the 20 goblins and the Wolf Riders and Koopa. All right, Magic got a 7 on the flux. Go ahead, and I don't have really any pictures of what I did in Magic. I don't think I really did much. We're gonna go to shooting. I'm gonna go and shoot the common goblins into his dogs. Kill off 3 dogs. That was it over here. The K-Pack destroys that dog unit. Well, of course they do. And I choose not to overrun. It's going to start off turn 1. Vampire counts. Vampire counts turn 1. He charges the dogs into Koopa, and I was like, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch. Here it goes. I think he does get in. I don't even remember. But my new goal here is, since I wounded the dogs, I could probably just win combat res and crumble them. I'll kill the champ. And let's see. He has a charge. I do 3 wounds. I win by 2. No, it's not enough. But it'll be my turn, and I just pop the dog, so that's fine as well. I'm going to stand and shoot. I think I might have killed 1 dog there. I don't know. Over here, he's going to charge his zombies into my K-Pack. K-Pack flees like I told you they would. And he's going to just stumble forward and not do much else. His bats fly up behind the hill. Of course they do. His zombie dragon kind of like watches his Reapers, and his zombie dragon is kind of just watching everything. The unit of Barrow Knights is staring at me over here, and Koopa is babysitting the Vampire Knights on the right side, actually. I forgot that they were there. Magic, he gets 4 on the flux, goes ahead and he does the Rot Within. I kind of have to let this go because what I'm trying to do is just stop him from reviving his dogs. Okay, he does Pentagram Pain here, only kills off 3 of my goblins, causes a panic, but I pass on my goblin leadership. Go ahead and I do Koopa versus the dogs. And like I said, I end up killing up a bunch, but the 1 dog is going to stay. It's going to start off turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. Turn 2, Orcs and Goblins. I go ahead and I charge into Trolls. Trolls go forward. And they go into the skeletons. I didn't really know what else to do with the Trolls. I was like, well, they're going to, at least the skeletons will struggle. I think part of this too, let me go back to another picture. if you could see this picture right here before I charged, the one unit of skeletons is not being covered by any flanks. The other unit, or like you got 3 units of skeletons, one, two, three. The third one, right by his tape measure, the only thing protecting that flank is that unit of knights. So I figure they're barrow knights. If I could just put Crom in the way of that unit, Crom will chaff me for a turn. The trolls can do their damage, destroy a bunch of skeletons, and go on. Sorry about that. I got a text message from work. Anyways, like I was saying, so if I could chaff his knight block, I could basically protect my trolls for a turn or two to just kind of destroy the skeletons, let them just kind of destroy a scoring unit, and it basically it'll chaff his knights, but I don't really care if I chaff his knights, and it'll kind of give me a second to move other units forward. All right, so let's see what I ended up doing because again, like I said, I forgot. Anyways, you can see I put bring the pain up onto the trolls or onto that unit that the trolls were fighting. You can see barely in this picture that Crom is covering those knights, like I said. Over here, I ended up getting triple sixes on it, enveloping embers, and I just destroy half of the unit of skeletons here with the cadaver wagon. Every time I get an attribute, I'm just trying to hit the cadaver wagon with picking the wounds off. All right, but I ended up killing off. It only looks like 13 skeletons. That's not that great. And shooting. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot into the skeletons. I end up just since I've already enveloping embered them once, I'm just going ahead and I'm just like picking wounds, like just trying to kill as many of these skeletons as possible, just to destroy the unit. I mean, there's not much else I can do against the vampire army. I have to pick off the wounds somehow, so I go ahead and I do so. And yeah, like I said, you can see how Crom is just kind of going to cause a redirect over here. But the trolls end up killing off about a big gelatinous cube of um, skeletons here, and it's going to start off turn 2. Vampire counts. Vampire counts turn 2. Don't have a picture of his movement phase. I don't know why I'm not taking pictures of the movement phase. Again, like I said, I'm pretty rusty on this. Magic got a 5 on the flux. Here you go. Here's a good picture of the movement. He did not charge Crom. For some reason, he didn't move his vampire dragon to stare at Crom, which is fine. I'm hiding my wyvern behind the hill, as you can see. Koopa, I think what ended up happening way over here was I ended up chaffing his vampire knights from Koopa. Okay? So they basically bought me a turn to allow to kill the dogs. Okay, so now the vampire knights are gonna do this dance with the dogs. Okay, I left Ruckus over here to kind of countercharge whatever I need to, and I don't know what I was doing with the savages. The forest goblins, I'm moving them in a situation where I could just kind of pick at the wounds at the zombies. But basically, what he's gonna do is he's gonna bust out his winged reapers to come after Koopa, to try to counter and help Koopa. Okay, that's kind of the reason why I moved my general to stare at the to kind of help Koopa with whatever this mess over on this right side is. Okay, left side I'm not too worried about. It's just skeletons at this point, and one of the skeleton units is about to die. The other skeleton unit's kind of stuck in a situation, and he basically put me in a spot where if I try to charge his knights, I think I hit the bats first, and then if I overrun, it's a weird scenario. I forgot what it was, but we'll see how that goes. All right, Magic got a marked for Doom up, and who did he get the marked for Doom up? I don't even know. He goes ahead and gets an Arise up, and he starts to rebuild his skeleton blocks. All right. Over here, the close combat, the trolls just continue to rip apart this unit. They're still alive. They only have 4 left, but it'll be my turn, and I should be able to destroy this block. It's going to go and start off turn 3. Orcs and Gobbos. Orcs and Gobbos, turn 3. I ended up moving Crom away. I saw that the bats are basically in a spot where they're chaffing his own unit. So what I ended up doing was make sure that I don't give his bats any legal charges, so he could chaff himself. I go ahead and I move Crom over here to deal with the units that are just dying. Same thing with Ruckus, and they're going that way. And basically, I just walked away from him. He's chaffing himself. Let my trolls finish off the job. The trolls will turn around, and start going towards the Barrow Knights. Right. Got to keep my general in a central position, and again, I just kind of have my feral orcs just kind of holding still. Over here, my Chariot, the K-Pack, never rallied. All right. I move my dogs this way to force him to charge into my dogs and make him take dangerous terrains in the ruins. I don't even know if he does take dangerous terrains, but either way, I'm just doing that. Koopa's gonna chill back. Koopa is protecting. I think I'm protecting this forest, or I'm just holding him back. The Wing Reapers don't have as much mobility as Koopa, and if he wants to charge in his Wing Reapers into the goblins, I don't think he kills enough goblins to break my steadfast, so I'll be able to countercharge with Koopa and my general if he wants to do so. Magic, go ahead and get a flaming swords up. I think I did a bubble over here, and I'm just gonna start shooting the shit out of his corpse cart. I destroy his corpse cart. Go ahead and I'd continue to shoot at his skeletons, but I don't think there's that many left. Over here, the trolls do finish the job, killing off the last 4 guys. I've only taken 2 wounds on these trolls. These trolls did really good. Yeah, that's how the table looks. Like I said, there's nothing he really sees over on this side, and basically my trolls are ready to charge into some other bullshit on that side. Turn 3, Vampire Counts. Vampire Counts turn 3. I believe this is a good turn for him. He's going to go ahead and charge the Wing Reapers over here, which I was fine with. I don't even know if he got in. He does get in. Okay. Magic, go ahead and get an 8 on the Flux. And as you can see, he moves his zombie dragon to back me up, back himself up. I'm sorry. He's gonna go ahead. He doesn't charge the vampire mounts. I don't know why he doesn't charge the vampire mounts. Knights. He goes ahead and he moves the skeletons this way, and I think that's about it. I don't really have a see what else he did. He moved the bats. I think he's just keeping the bats there to chaff the trolls. I don't really care if the trolls get chaffed. He gets a mark for doom off again. He ends up doing 4 wounds onto Koopa. Koopa has that route for within that's basically giving him a negative, I think, offensive skill or armor. I forgot what it was. He goes ahead and he pops up a new unit of zombies right here in front of Koopa, which this is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Over here, like I said, he basically kills off, looks like 13 goblins, but the goblins stick there on a steadfast, and he is going to be stuck. It's going to start off turn 4, Orcs and Goblins. Orcs and Goblins, turn 4. Crom! Crom is going to charge into these 2 skeletons that he gave me the flank to. I don't think he realized that he gave me the flank, but he did. No, he gave me a front. He gave me a front. Never mind. And basically, the reason why I did this was I'm going to charge those 2. Now, it's legal to charge to maximize, and basically, when I overrun into the next skeleton, you'll only be clipping a little bit. I let Ruckus kind of just walk around this way. He's going to protect the trolls for a counter charge when the trolls fight the Barrow Knights. We'll deal with it when it gets there. I don't charge his vampire Wing Reapers with my general because his general's there now and watching. And basically, I just kind of move Koopa away from the zombies because Koopa's faster than zombies. We'll just see how this goes. Okay. Yeah, that's how the table looks. Magic, get another enveloping embers off, end up burning off more skeletons here, and before Crom overruns into them, which is just glorious. Glorious, I say. Over here, I'm going to continue shooting at him, and it looks like I just... Oh, these were his armor saves. It looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16 armor saves failed on his enveloping embers, basically burning off 16 of his guys, which was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. He only saved 1, 2, 3... Guys, Jesus Christ. Over here, he ends up killing off my goblins. He's going to turn towards the savages and my general. Over here, like I said, I destroy those 2 guys. I overrun that clip right here. He does get 2 wounds off onto my onto Crom, which that happens. And then over here, I kill the bats with the trolls. Turn 4, Vampire Counts. Vampire Counts for turn 4. He's going to go ahead and charge into the front of my river trolls, which is fine. Trolls versus knights. That's fine. That's what they were there for. He's going to charge into my general here, and he needed, I think, like a 10 charge on Swift Stride, and he fails it ever so slightly. He's going to just kind of move forward a couple inches, and this kind of puts him in a bad spot. He moves his general like so. He moves his vampire knights like so. He's going to basically start going for the objective, which was the hill. The king. We're both playing, I think, King of the Hill as King of the Hill, so we just said, fuck it. It's basically hold the center. But he needs to get a scoring unit up there. I have my scoring unit over here, which is my savages. But basically, if either one of us gets the objective, it would be either his vampire knights, his barrow knights, or my savage orcs. All right. Magic. He got a 3 on the flux. Don't really know what he's doing. He's basically chasing Koopa. Koopa's been kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just babysitting. Koopa's babysitting. All right. Ruckus is up there. He goes ahead and he does a Mark for Doom onto my general, which kind of, let's see. I think he ends up doing 1 wound, or he just rolled a 1 on the wound. That was great. Over here, I end up puking. I only end up killing off 4 guys. He ends up doing, I think, 2 wounds. He has a charge, a banner, 2 wounds. I end up doing 4. I think it's a push. Over here, Crom was just rolling hot. How many impact hits? 3. How many thunderstorms? 6. And it was just like boom, boom, and just like Crom was just annihilating this unit. It's gonna start off turn 5 vampire. Or no, I'm sorry, this is turn 5 orcs. That was his turn right now. That was turn 4. Okay, turn 5 orcs and goblins. Orcs and goblins turn 5. It gets brutal. Ruckus goes into the rear of his knights. My savages, my general, I think I call it the Wog. The Wog! And I'm going to charge into his Wing Reapers here. My goal here is to kill enough Wing Reapers to overrun and just kind of overrun past his general's line of sight. Or if he wants to face my Savage Orcs with his general, I think I could hold him with a challenge for a turn and kind of just rearrange how I need to be. All right, Koopa is going to go ahead and charge into the zombies, and what ended up happening was my dogs passed a march check, and were able to march around his vampire knights and chaff his vampire knights, put like that. All right, Ruckus got in, like I said, Crom's been in, and then my goblins over there. I think actually the other objective was the river, and I think that's why my goblins are moving towards the river. That actually might be what's happening. As you can see, my general and the savages both made it into the reapers, and basically I moved my magic over there just to start pushing for that, to push my magic. Magic, go ahead and I think I did Rod of Battle. He stopped. I do Bring the Pain. He tried to stop it and failed, allowing me to get rerolls to hit on that unit, and then I ended up getting off Flaming Swords, which was just clutch. I think I just rolled like high numbers, 666 or something like that. And basically, there's nothing he could have really done. It just basically happens. Koopa ends up killing off the zombies coming this way. I think I could have even overrun into the flank of them, but I kind of chaffed myself, which, whatever. Over here, Impact hits, kills off 1 guy. My general kills off 1 guy, and the savages just rip apart that unit. He does kill a couple of my my savage orcs, but I basically just reform into ranks, waiting for a zombie dragon. And I taunted him. I don't know what the answer was. I think that the answer could have been if he charged into me. I was really scared if he does kill my savages, but I just taunted him with the fact that, oh, go ahead. You want to charge into my savage orcs with flaming swords? Come on, bring it. But I was really like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. All right, over here. Ruckus fails to hit or wound a goddamn knight. His knights kill off 1 of my trolls, and I end up killing off 3 of his guys. I think just from combat res. I have a charge, a big rear, and he did like maybe 3 wounds or something like that. I don't even know. But basically, I ended up just killing off a couple. Ruckus is kind of stuck there for a turn. But basically, since Ruckus doesn't have to maximize, I just kind of touch 1 guy like this. All right, let's go turn off turn 5 Vampire Counts. Vampire Counts turn 5. He saw the charge. I was teasing him about the savages, and he charges his zombie dragon to the ass of Ruckus. Now, look at the size difference of his fucking dragon to Ruckus. It is fucking huge. It's huge. Justin, you are compensating for something there, man. For the record, Justin won the, I don't know if it was the best painted model or the best painted army, but pretty much based on this model. The model is amazing. The model is beautiful, and it stands out from like across the room. All right. Anyways, he does charge my dogs here finally, and it looks like he does. Maybe he does. I don't know. And it's going to start off his magic. Magic gets 7 on the flux, goes ahead and gets a pentagram of pain up, and he ends up doing an arise. Now, his pentagram of pain, I don't even know who it ended up hitting. He ends up putting up a bunch of wounds onto Ruckus, basically getting Ruckus up to about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. 2 more wounds to end Ruckus. Ruckus goes into, oh, he did the Arise onto his own Barrow Knight. So his Barrow Knight started growing wide because he can't go back into ranks. Ruckus ends up doing a couple wounds onto his Knights, only 2, but his Zombie Dragon ends up killing Ruckus. The Trolls are stuck there. The Trolls are getting their asses kicked at the moment. And how does that work? Did I run? I might have ran. I think I ran. Damn. So he's going to chase down my Trolls. He is going to kill my Trolls. That's going to suck. It's going to start off Orcs and Goblins turn 6. Orcs and Goblins turn 6 is my last turn of the game. I go ahead and I do a long bomb charge. My General into the flank of his Vampire Knights. I don't even think I charged Koopa in because I feel like if I charge Koopa in, he might actually just kill me. But I figured, my General gets into the flank. That'll be fine. But more or less, like I said, my whole goal here has been to just block him from getting into the objective. All right. Magic got I don't even know if my General got in. I think my General did get in. Yeah, my General did get in. I think I needed like an 11 on that charge, and I got in. Go ahead and get an 8 on the Flux. Go ahead, and I don't even know what I was doing. Doesn't show any magic cards. Shooting. Gonna go ahead and shoot some Knights that were chasing the Trolls. I ended up doing 3 wounds somehow. Whatever. As you can see, Crom did finish off the skeletons on the left, and I basically just kind of put Crom there to chaff his Knights. My reasoning for that was so they cannot push my Goblins off the objective. But part of that, I was not really thinking straight because he could potentially panic me since my General's on the other side of the table. Over here, my General does fuck up one of the Knights. I think he does challenge, and my General just kills that Knight. But basically, it puts me in the spot right here where I made him crumble a bit, and he fails his reform check, so he's going to be stuck there. And I think in the next turn, I just wipe out the unit. Turn 6, like I said, I had to take over the hill. I go ahead and I do take over the hill. I did move my wizard out of the unit over this way. The reason I did this was to try to buff up my General with some of the combat spells. I made this mistake not even thinking that he had a breath weapon still, and he just flew his dragon over here, and he's just gonna burn my wizard with his breath weapon. He will do that. I think he does charge here, which was kind of like iffy on his charge. Magic, he gets 6 on the Flux. Goes ahead and does occultism onto marked for Doom onto Koopa. Ends up doing a couple more wounds. Like I said, I didn't charge Koopa in, but Koopa was fine. He lives with 1 wound. He does his breath weapon onto Baxter the Pyromaniac. And I think that's the last picture I have of the game. After this, we do have a talk. I'll let you guys watch the talk real quick, and I'll go over my endgame stats.
Alright, what's going on? Not much. That was a great game. I quite enjoyed it. I'm glad you didn't kill my dragon. I was kind of worried about it, but I don't think you could have.
Yeah.
But I think I played a little scared with him.
Were you scared? Were you scared of the savages overrunning into him?
I was scared of the savages. That freaked me out a little bit. The Winged Reaper charge, the failed charge there, that kind of sucked a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I think if you got that charge, it would be a totally different game.
Yeah, I agree. I was so close to killing Koopa. He was like, I had 1 wound left on him.
So I'm not gonna lie, when I was doing I put it on Universal Battle so I could check it out.
Oh yeah.
Or Warhol. Sorry, Warhol. All right. So go ahead and I put it out there to see how you have everything.
Right.
And I literally said Koopa has to babysit these guys.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I was like, Koopa just has to. I'm like, he can get into those. What happens is you just challenge for the champ, and I'm stuck in that fight forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, you just gotta babysit these guys over here.
That's why I sent those dogs in early.
Yeah.
I was hoping to try and get rid of that chaff so I could have maneuvered on you, but there's 2 guys living. You did a lot of good work with those 2 guys left.
You have the most impressive model here with this massive ass dragon. I just took a look through everything. You have the most impressive. You made sure you knew the size of your measuring stick there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Right on. It was a good game, man.
It was a good game, man.
Appreciate it. Hope you do well in the tournament.
Thank you.
All right. So, you saw the video. My thoughts on it were, I was scared shitless of this game to fight a zombie dragon, more or less. The even going back 6 months later and rewatching it, again, I don't know what kind of magic has switched around. I know Pyromancy does have a different spell now for the number 2 spell, but you could see more or less. I got 15 points out of this. 15-5. It was a good start for my round one. My head was pretty clear. I want to say. I think I came in here well practiced. I've been playing a lot of UB games, and I was ready to come to Canada with John. Um, but I did make some obvious mistakes after watching this video. And I think overall I did get a good chunk of luck. I got some good high rolls, but at the same time, I think my savages could have been a little bit more aggressive. I think my savages shouldn't have been as scared of a zombie dragon. Um, More or less, I think the big fear is just combo charges. But live and learn. All right, guys. Oh well, that's it for today. I did not do a point breakdown because, spoiler alert, I don't finish this tournament. I had to leave after day one. Like I said, my father became critically ill, and we had to rush to the hospital. Anyways, it was much fun to play against somebody new. Justin Kane was a great guy. He was probably my favorite opponent for the weekend. Sorry, Andrew and Chuck. But it's fun to play somebody new, get to learn how they play, and it's a new experience. The owner of the store that was pushing for this tournament, he was very grateful host, and he provided lists, he provided stats, he provided anything that we really needed, and this gaming room was probably on my top three gaming rooms I've been in, and I've been to a lot of countries and a lot of gaming rooms. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. But this one had like extra shelves underneath your the table. It had spots to put your dice and put your stuff and whatever. It was really good to just play on. And I do gotta point that out that this place was a treat to go. Forest City, I think that was it Ontario, just past Ontario. Yeah, it was just I want to say like it's in London, Ontario. So that was the where we ended up going. We ended up going to my friend's house who lives just like about 40 minutes away. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I'm gonna go ahead and post this up. Like I said, I got two more videos of this game. I ended up playing two more games at Fergus's house, even though it's really kind of like one game. And then so I got this one. I got one against Andrew Hetz coming up next. Charles Sadler. Then I got a game against Andrew Ratman, and then Fergus, and then I'll be at Masters this weekend. But I doubt I'm going to record all those videos anytime soon. But I'm going to get them started. Alright, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this. I enjoyed making it. Sorry it's been kind of choppy, but it is what it is. Anyways, till next time. Take care. Peace.